So you're renovating an older home, and you might be standing on a hidden hazard right at this very moment. Those old floor tiles you're thinking about ripping up, yeah, they might not be as harmless as they look. Today, we're going to break down the safe, smart way to deal with asbestos flooring.
Okay, does this scene sound familiar? You start pulling up some seriously old carpet or linoleum, and what do you find underneath? These classic 9x9-inch tiles. For a lot of homeowners, this is the very first sign that they're dealing with something a little more serious than just an outdated floor.
And you know what? You're right to be a little concerned. Those tiles could very well contain asbestos. But hey, don't panic. The good news is there's a modern, safe, and often DIY-friendly way to handle this without turning your home into a hazard zone.
So here's our game plan. We're going to cover this step by step. First, we'll identify the hidden hazard itself. Then, we'll dive into the modern solution that lets you avoid all that danger. I'll give you a super important pre-installation checklist. We'll walk through the process, and this is crucial. I'll show you the absolute red flags that mean it's time to stop and call a professional.
Okay, first things first. What exactly are we dealing with here?
You know, for decades, asbestos was this go-to material in home construction. When it came to floor tiles, it was just incredibly durable and cheap. That's why you find them all the time in high-traffic places like kitchens and basements in houses built before 1980. The 9x9-inch size is the one you see most often, but they also came in 12x12s and even big 18x18-inch squares.
All right, here's the most crucial point. The danger isn't the tile just sitting there on the floor. No, the real risk comes when those tiles get disturbed. If you try to cut, sand, scrape, or break them, they release these microscopic asbestos fibers into the air. And once you breathe those in, they can cause some absolutely devastating long-term diseases. This is why we never, ever want to mess with them.
And this brings us to the absolute golden rule. Better safe than sorry. Seriously, never try to just break off a little piece for one of those home test kits. The only safe way to know for sure is to have a certified asbestos inspector come and take a sample. They've got the training and all the right equipment to do it without releasing those dangerous fibers.
So, if we can't rip the old tiles out, what in the world do we do? Well, let's talk about the modern and, frankly, elegant solution.
The key word here, the one you need to remember, is encapsulation. Instead of a super risky and incredibly expensive removal job, the goal is to safely and permanently seal the asbestos tiles right where they are, right under a brand new floor. You're not getting rid of the hazard, you're containing it.
What I love about this slide is how clearly it shows why this whole method works so well. See, traditional floors, they have to be nailed or glued down, which would totally disturb the old tiles. But a floating floor, like a modern laminate, it's a completely different game. The planks just click together and literally float on top of an underlayment. They never even touch the asbestos tiles below. It's a brilliant way to turn a problem into a stable foundation for your new floor.
And that old saying has never been more true. If those asbestos tiles are in good, stable condition, not broken, not crumbling, the absolute safest and smartest thing you can do is just leave them alone and cover them up. Now, this solution is pretty much perfect, but, and this is a big but, only if the conditions are right. So think of this next part as your non-negotiable pre-flight checklist before you start. So before you even think about laying down a new floor, you have to inspect the old one. Are those tiles stuck down tight? Are they all in one piece, with no crumbling edges or loose bits? And is the floor totally level and, really importantly, dry? If you answer no to any of these questions, then this DIY-friendly solution, well, it isn't for you.
And look, even though our whole plan is to not disturb the tiles, safety is still number one. It's just a smart precaution to wear the right gear. And that means a good respirator with P100 filters, some disposable coveralls, and goggles. Just protect yourself from any stray dust. Sealing off the work area with plastic sheeting, that's another simple step that gives you extra peace of mind.
This couldn't be more accurate, right? Taking these simple safety steps before you even start is the difference between a successful project and a potential health risk. It's a tiny bit of effort that gives you massive peace of mind. Okay, safety checks are done, you're cleared for takeoff. Let's look at how to properly install this protective shield right over your old floor.
The process itself is pretty straightforward and, most importantly, safe. So after you get that professional okay, you'll gently clean the floor using a damp mop only. I mean it, no aggressive scrubbing and absolutely no vacuums that could stir up dust. Next, you roll out the underlayment. Then lay your floating planks, leaving a little expansion gap around the edges. And here is a critical detail. When you install your baseboards, you nail them to the wall, never into the floor where a nail could accidentally hit one of those old tiles.
I really want to pause on this, because the underlayment is the real hero of this whole project. It's not just there for cushioning. It's a vapor barrier, and most importantly, it's the physical protective layer that makes sure nothing disturbs those asbestos tiles. It is the seal that makes this entire system work safely.
All right, let's get to what might be the most important section of all. We have to talk about the signs that tell you this is no longer a DIY job.
This is the moment to be really honest with yourself and your project. Recognizing when a situation is beyond a simple cover-up is just crucial for the safety of your home and your family.
These right here are your absolute stop signs. First, any tiles that are cracked, crumbling, or broken. They might already be releasing fibers. Second, any sign of moisture or water damage. Covering that up is just asking for a serious mold problem. Third, if the old adhesive underneath feels all gooey or is failing. And finally, if the subfloor itself feels spongy or uneven. Any one of these is a major red flag.
And this is the call to action. If you see any of the issues we just talked about, the project has changed. It's no longer about encapsulation, it's about professional abatement. You put your tools down, you back away, and you call a licensed pro. It is the only safe way to move forward.
Look, if you take only one single thing away from this entire explainer, please let it be this. The single, unbreakable rule when you are dealing with asbestos is do not disturb it. Everything we've talked about is built on that one principle.
So as you plan out your project, the real question isn't just about how you're going to get a beautiful new floor. It's about how you're going to make sure you have a safe and healthy home for years and years to come. And by following these methods, you're doing exactly that.